I don't know if you've noticed, but oil is in the news a lot these days. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on Russian oil, and all that does is raise the prices at the pump for Americans. It doesn't end the Ukraine proxy war. The U.S. is threatening to invade Venezuela under the pretext of drug cartels, but we know the DEA is a drug cartel. And we also know that the U.S. really just wants to seize Venezuela's oil. And now in Mali, the Al-Qaeda terrorists / Ukraine and NATO-backed terrorists, Al-Qaeda's on our side in Syria, remember, are imposing a fuel blockade on Mali. They're not able to win on the battlefield, so they're resorting to tactics of economic warfare. Now, the U.S. response to this is to issue a decree for Americans to leave Mali immediately because of fuel shortages and instability across the country. What is really going on? Well, we know that oil monopolies make foreign policy, BP, Shell, Chevron, and the lower level capitalists, the fracking cowboys, just want a piece of the pie. So there's a lot of confusion going on. But what we also know is that recently the U.S. had imposed a $15,000 bond on many African countries to obtain passports for the United States under the pretext that Africans come but they don't go back. So Mali retaliated under international law, applying reciprocity, and they imposed a $15,000 bond on Americans to come and visit Mali. So a couple days ago, the U.S. quietly dropped those bonds. Were they trying to make friends with Mali, or is there something more sinister going on? Well, we can find out what's really going on in Mali by listening to some actual on-the-ground reports. So I'll be back.
Ici à Bamako, la coopération russo-malienne franchit une étape stratégique. Dans un contexte marqué par la pénurie de carburant, la Russie annonce la livraison mensuelle de 160 000 à 200 000 tonnes de produits pétroliers au Mali. Cette aide, il faut le rappeler, s'inscrit dans la volonté du gouvernement malien de renforcer sa souveraineté énergétique et de consolider ses relations avec Moscou. Mais au-delà de l'urgence énergétique, cette coopération illustre la montée en puissance d'une alliance économique fondée sur la confiance et la complémentarité. Selon plusieurs observateurs, il s'agit d'un tournant majeur dans la diplomatie malienne, porteur de nouvelles perspectives de stabilité et de développement.
Ce partenariat est très sincère et solide. C'est comme si la Russie venait à lever l'épine au pied du Mali, puisque nous souffrons énormément en ce qui concerne cette pénurie de carburant, voire même d'essence, puisque nous savons que c'est le poumon même de l'économie malienne. Nous l'avons senti lorsque ces terroristes ont tenté de bloquer les sources d'approvisionnement concernant les grandes agglomérations. Nous avons senti cela à travers un peu le pays, et si la Russie arrive à nous livrer cela et que les autorités de transition arrivent aussi à sécuriser et à mener ces produits à bon port, je pense que ça sera un rouvre de soulagement pour le peuple malien.
The purpose of our visit here is to find mechanisms, deliver petroleum products, fertilizers and wheat as part of our cooperation between our two countries. Mali is a strategic country, and so the development of relation between our two countries is a focus point. It's a key point for our country. So we are working with the Ministry of Finance and since 2000 on these issues. We expect approximately between 160 and 200,000 tons monthly.
Petroleum products.
Petroleum products. First of all, it's Africa, especially Mali. So it is a friendly country. So for us, it is a country with which we are developing a strategic partnership. It is an allied country of Russia. So that's why we are helping our friend in the context of developing our relations. But also, it is also due to the past of our country, so of the Soviet Union. So we are obliged to commit to come to help.
Mali is stepping its foot down, revoking more than 90 mining exploration permits, including those held by international companies after officials said operators failed to meet new legal requirements. According to a decree signed by Mines Minister Amadou Keita, all rights under the cancelled permits are now released and open for reallocation. The permits issued between 2015 and 2022 covered exploration for gold, uranium, rare earths and other metals. The move follows similar crackdowns in other African nations tightening control over natural resources. Mali, one of Africa's top gold producers, has faced declining foreign investment amid growing insecurity. The military-led government has also deepened ties with Russia, signing new energy and mining deals.
The director, Minister Diaro, has called a meeting, and this is what he has to discuss with those who are working together to solve this problem.
Improving the country's supply of petroleum products. Minister Moussa Alassane Diallo, in consultation with the private sector at the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Mali. In response to the current shortage, the government is already hard at work to provide concrete solutions along three main lines. Ensure the continuity of the country's supply of petroleum products. Ensure and manage coordination with all importers as well as distributors in order to guarantee price control and the quality of product supply throughout the entire national territory. Another factor that is worsening this crisis is speculation on prices and the withholding of petroleum products as observed on the ground by the department's technical services. It is in this context that the minister decided to hold an informational meeting to discuss the state of the country's supply of petroleum products and transit. But above all, to call on the leaders of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Mali to raise awareness among hydrocarbon operators. By putting this crisis into context, the minister first wanted to reassure economic operators of the highest authority's commitment to providing appropriate responses to this situation.
The Shell station located on Kamikrama Avenue was the target of the two government ministers who wanted to inquire about the smooth running of hydrocarbon sales operations. Here, the lines are not long and customers show discipline under the watchful eye of the police forces deployed on site. These are very satisfied ministers who are reassuring the population about the challenges of this crisis and the need for resilience on the part of everyone.
My observation is that the influence has greatly diminished, and we can also see that they are better organized. So I would like to congratulate the young people, the Malian population, for their civic spirit, and also congratulate the security forces who are really working to maintain order, and also congratulate the National Youth Council and all the workers at the stations here. So we saw that the station was supplied yesterday evening, and today these things are happening. The supplies are going well. And so I came with my colleague to provide the government's support. The government is very aware of all the responsibilities that this places on the population, in families, in businesses, in the workplace, in the provision of basic social services. The government reassures that it remains seized of the issue and that all measures are being taken, under the direction of the President of the Transition, General Dorimi Guetta, and under the authority of the Prime Minister, who chairs the Crisis Management Commission, to ensure that everything is done to resolve this disruption in the supply of fuel. We believe that in the coming hours, the energy crisis, the fuel crisis will be a bad memory in Mali. So today, we salute the resilience and strength of the youth of Mali, of the people of Mali, because a great people is revealed in times like these.
So as you can see, Mali is not panicking. They are allied with Russia. They have been allied with Russia since the Soviet Union. They are facing a crisis, but they have strong leadership, and they are working together to get out of this crisis. The media wants us to panic. The media wants us to despair. The media wants us to think that the world is going to end tomorrow. So let us continue to demand a government of action that fights for working families, to break the domination of these international banking cartels and monopolies that are wreaking havoc around the world. And let us partner with the rising economy in the East, Russia, BRICS, Shanghai Cooperation, trade, not war, and not sanctions.